Welcome everyone to another deep dive. Today we're stepping into some really profound ancient wisdom.
We certainly are.
We're looking at the Bhagavad Gita, specifically Adhyay 2, which is often called Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. And our goal here really is to kind of unpack the philosophical core of this chapter. Give you a bit of a shortcut maybe to understanding these ideas that have lasted for so long.
That's right. And it's good to remember the context from Adhyay 1. You've got Arjuna, this great warrior, just completely despairing on the battlefield.
Yeah, facing his own family, his teachers, an impossible situation.
Exactly. He's crushed. And Adhyay 2 is where Krishna starts his incredible response. It's a huge turning point.
How so?
Because Arjuna literally puts down his weapon. He surrenders not to the enemy, but he turns to Krishna and asks for guidance. He shifts, from warrior trapped in grief to, a seeker. Ready for wisdom.
That's a massive shift. And this is where the Gita really starts laying out its big ideas, right?
Correct.
We're going to find some maybe surprising insights about who we are, what our duty is, and how to find real inner peace even when things feel completely overwhelming.
Whether that's a literal battlefield or just, the challenges of modern life.
Absolutely. So this deep dive should give you a solid handle on some ideas that have genuinely shaped thought worldwide for centuries. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So Krishna's first response to Arjuna. It's what you'd expect, is it? It feels almost sharp.
It does. It can seem that way.
He basically says, you are grieving for what is not worth grieving over. I mean, if someone told you that when you were upset, how would you react?
Right. Most of us would want comfort, validation, sympathy.
Exactly. So why does Krishna start like this? What's the wisdom behind this seemingly harsh opening?
Well, what's so interesting is Krishna doesn't really engage with the surface level emotion. He doesn't get drawn into the immediate drama of the situation.
Okay.
Instead, he immediately shifts the whole frame. He goes straight to the big picture, the eternal soul, the Atman. Okay. So it's not dismissal, it's redirection.
Precisely. It's radical wisdom instead of, say, conventional comfort. He immediately states that the Atman, the true self, neither kills nor can be killed. He's lifting Arjuna's perspective, saying, look, you're focused on the temporary, the perishable, but there's an eternal reality here.
That's a huge reframe.
Yeah.
And this idea of the soul's immortality, it's central. The text even gives that Sanskrit quote, Najayate mriyate vakatachi.
Yes, a very famous verse.
Which means the soul's unborn, eternal, it doesn't die, it can't be destroyed. That's a lot to take in. What does that really mean for us, practically speaking, beyond just a nice spiritual idea?
Well, this is where Sankhya philosophy really comes in. It's one of the ancient Indian systems, and it maps out this fundamental difference between Purusha, which is like pure consciousness, unchanging, and Prakriti, the material world, our bodies, minds, everything that changes.
Okay, so spirit and matter, basically. Kind of, yeah. It gives you a clear framework to see the difference between the body that, gets old and dies, and the soul, the Atman, which is timeless. And getting that distinction, really getting it, can be a massive aha moment.
Oh, so?
Because it changes your whole relationship with life and loss. Think about it. If your core essence, the real you, is eternal and untouched by anything that happens, birth, death, success, failure, then you have this fundamental security.
An anchor.
Exactly, an unshakable anchor. It's not just about not fearing death, it's about resilience now. Losing a job, going through a breakup, getting sick. These things affect the temporary, the material part. But the core you, untouched, that understanding can totally reframe how you experience, everything. It builds incredible resilience.
Wow, so the insight isn't just you live forever, it's that the real you is fundamentally okay, regardless of external storms. That's a game changer for dealing with fear and anxiety.
It really is.
Okay, so if we grasp this idea of the eternal self, how does that change what we do? How does it affect our actions in the world? Which brings us, I guess, to the next big teaching in Adhyay 2, Karma Yoga.
Yes, and it's tied directly to Dharma, your duty.
Right. Krishna tells Arjuna to do his duty.
He does. He says, essentially, do your duty, Arjuna. That's your right. But, and this is the crucial part, never be attached to the fruits of your action.
Okay, that phrase, without attachment to the fruits, it trips a lot of people up. What does it actually mean? Does it mean you shouldn't care about results, shouldn't have goals? That feels wrong somehow in our goal-oriented world.
It's a really important question, and it's often misunderstood. It absolutely does not mean being indifferent or lazy or having no ambition. Not at all.
So what does it mean?
It means dedicating yourself fully to the action itself. Focus on doing your best, on the process, on the quality of your effort, but letting go of your obsessive need to control the outcome.
Okay. Focus on the input, not just the output.
Exactly. Think about it. If you're totally fixated on getting that promotion or winning that prize, the fear of not getting it can mess you up. Or even if you do get it, the high is temporary. Krishna's suggesting real freedom comes from doing your absolute best with integrity and then accepting that the final result isn't entirely up to you.
So it's about effort and intention, not outcomes you can't fully control.
Precisely. You take responsibility for your actions, your effort, but you release the anxiety about the fruit. It's incredibly liberating, whether you're, tackling a work project, raising kids, or trying to get fit. Focus on the quality of what you do. It often leads to better performance anyway, and certainly more peace.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about freeing yourself from the tyranny of the result. Which kind of leads into another thing Christian brings up, balance, equanimity.
Yes, staying balanced.
But life is full of ups and downs. Good stuff happens, bad stuff happens. How can you possibly stay balanced through all that? How do you practice equanimity?
Well, Krishna acknowledges those dualities, pain and pleasure, gain and loss, success and failure, honor and dishonor. They're part of life.
Right.
His teaching is that true wisdom isn't avoiding them, but cultivating an inner state that isn't thrown off course by them. Not getting wildly overjoyed by success, not getting completely shattered by failure.
Easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly challenging. Our instincts are to grab the good and push away the bad. But the benefit, your inner peace, your stability, stops being dependent on external events. You're not like a ship tossed around by every wave.
You develop an inner rudder, maybe.
That's a great way to put it. You gain emotional resilience, clarity. You can act more wisely because you're not just reacting to the latest drama. You see the dualities as temporary weather patterns passing through, while your inner core remains steady.
That's a powerful image. A steady inner core. And this idea, combined with the eternal self and selfless action, it all points towards this ideal figure Krishna describes, right? The Siddha Prajna.
Yes, the person of steady wisdom.
The steady-minded person. So what does this ideal seeker actually look like, according to the Gita? How is this person described?
It's fascinating because the description isn't about what they have or what they've achieved externally. It's all about their internal state.
Okay.
The Siddha Prajna is someone whose mind, whose intellect is firm, steady, rooted in wisdom. They remain calm, centered. They aren't really disturbed by the ups and downs we just talked about, pleasure, pain, praise, blame.
Because their happiness isn't coming from outside?
Exactly. It arises from within, from their connection to that deeper reality, the Atman. They're not dependent on external validation or circumstances, and you see how it all connects. Understanding the eternal soul gives you that foundation. Practicing selfless action purifies the mind. Cultivating equanimity keeps you stable. These are the building blocks.
Towards becoming that steady-minded person.
Right. And the Gita says such a person walks the path of liberation. They're free from the grip of suffering, anxiety, delusion, because they're anchored in truth, not just reacting to the changing world. It's about achieving profound inner freedom.
That's quite a journey packed into one chapter. So, wrapping up Adhyay 2, the core message seems to be this call to rise above our usual confusion and emotional storms.
Definitely.
To do our work, our duty with focus and clarity without getting tangled up in the results, and ultimately to cultivate this deep inner stillness that isn't shaken by what happens outside.
Beautifully put.
It's amazing how these ancient ideas from a crisis moment on a battlefield offer such a practical, a roadmap almost for navigating our own complex modern lives.
It really is timeless wisdom. And perhaps a final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
If you really take this on board, that the soul is eternal, unchanging, and that your real work is to act rightly without being dependent on the outcome, how does that genuinely shift the way you face challenges? How does it change your approach to failure, to success? What actually changes in your day-to-day when you start living from that place of inner freedom?
That's definitely something to sit with. A powerful question.
It's where the philosophy meets life.
Absolutely. And this is really just scratching the surface of the Gita. Our next deep dive will take us into Adhyay 3, Karma Yoga, where Krishna goes even deeper into this path of action.
Looking forward to it.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.